everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. In today's video, I am so excited to share a project with you that I've been working on for a little while. One of the first boxes or files that I did when I started to design SVG files was a strawberry and daisy box card. And I don't know if you've seen it or not. It was really popular. I did it about 4 or 5 years ago. And it just seemed like everybody loved it, and I was really proud of it. Last year, I updated that file and relisted it, and it's again became really popular. And so I had this idea last spring to do some garden boxes, and that is what I'm going to do today. So I have 5 new files for you to get started. This video might be a little bit longer because we are going to assemble all 5 box cards, but I will divide it up into chapters so that you can forward to the particular card that you are working on. Also, I have created an envelope to put these box cards in. The cards themselves, I will just show you a sneak peek. This is the Pansy garden box or basket, sorry, the Pansy basket. And when they fold flat, they are 5 by 5 inches. And so I have an envelope that is a 5.5 by 5.5 envelope, and it has a liner in it. And all of these cards will just fit in here perfectly. So you can fold it up. Fold it up and mail them, or hand deliver it, and then you can pull your little box card out and pop it up and give it as a gift. They have a blank area on the back so that you can write a message, or you could even tape a gift card to the back of there if you wanted to. Now, I will tell you that with the square envelope, if you are trying to mail them in the US, I'm not sure about anywhere else, but in the US, it does take extra postage because they do not fit through the machines. So just be aware of that. The box cards will fit in this envelope perfectly, but it will cost you a little bit extra in the postage. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one that I want to do is our daffodil card. And it is in a fence box. So let me show you the pieces that comes with it, and then we will go ahead and assemble it. So you have 2 of your little decorative pieces that go on the outside of the fence box. You have 3 inside layers, and they have the daffodil pieces, and you'll know them because they have a number on the inside of the tab. Now when you assemble that, those numbers will not show. There is a lattice back, and then the back of your card. If you are doing the original strawberry and daisy box card, this piece is 1 piece, but I've decided to split it up because I think it assembles a little bit easier. But if you are doing the older one, just know that that is 1 solid piece. Okay, for these, I have decided that the easiest way to do them is to assemble the flowers first. And they do have some little tiny parts, but the machines will cut them out. I have cut these out on both Cricut and Silhouette, and they both work. Because there are some tiny parts, you are going to want either a pair of tweezers, or my favorite tool is the pickup tool. And it just has a little bit of like a gummy eraser on the bottom that makes picking these pieces up. And so that's what I'm going to be using today. But if you don't have this, you can use your tweezers or just your fingernails. So, and you could also ink these flowers up if you wanted to. And let's get our glue bottle going here. I did fill it with glue before we got started so we can get to these cards. There we go. And so on the daffodils, they have 3 pieces. They have the outside, the inside, and then the little, is this a stamen, I guess, that's on the inside? And that little stamen, if you wanted to, you could actually push some of those pieces up. You don't have to, and this will be a box folded flat, but if you wanted to, I'll just show you on this first one, you could go ahead and pick up those pieces, okay? The daffodils actually go together really easy. And the leaves are cut on your insert pieces. So you're going to cut those insert pieces out of green or whatever color you want your leaves to be. Well, I really did fill this up so that it was going to be ready. There we go. Maybe there was just a little bit of an air bubble in there. And I did my daffodils in 2 different colors, and I did them the pale yellow and the pale peach. You can do them any color that you want. Daffodils come in a lot of colors, so you do them in your favorite color, whatever color daffodils you want in your garden. Okay. So now that I've done those, I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto my first insert piece. Take that off. It's easier to work with. And you're just going to kind of twist them around until it fits on there. I have made the flowers a little bit bigger than the shadow piece that they go on top of. Oops, and this piece actually goes in the middle because it's a different color. So as I was saying, I've cut these so that they're just a little bit bigger than that green behind them. So on this first piece, if you're doing them in multiple colors, you'll want the different colored daffodil on the front. Okay, we're going to set that aside and let it dry and do our second one. And this one, I did them in the same color. So many possibilities with the daffodil cards, with all of these cards actually. You can do them in your pales, you could do them in your bright colors, could do them springish or fall. I don't know that daffodils flower much in the fall, but maybe where you're at they do. I'm going to just lay that on there and you will see that the daffodil leaves, let me slide this down, are showing, are part of the insert piece. And there is a little piece that needs to come out. There's layer 2, and now we've got layer 3. We're going to do the same thing, and when you cut these out, you do have some little small pieces, and if they don't cut or poke all the way out, you can just pull them out with your finger or the tweezers. And the centers really don't have a wrong or right direction. They're not even, so you can just put them however you want, but the stamens inside need to go pretty much right in the middle. and they are symmetrical. That's the word I'm trying to say. So this centerpiece is not symmetrical, and it can go facing whatever direction you want. And then the inside pieces, you kind of want that as close to the center as you can get it. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but you want it pretty close. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and glue those to our insert piece. And again, the little leaves show behind it. Oh, daffodils just make me so happy. It means spring is coming. We're in Salt Lake, and we have had snow up until like the day before Easter. And not just a little bit of snow. We had a lot of snow. I had 2 feet of snow the Saturday before Easter in my backyard. And now, today, it's 80 degrees, and I'm loving it. A little worried about some flooding, but I'm loving it. All right, so there are our 3 layers. Next off, we're going to take this lattice piece, and it gets glued onto the inside of our back piece. And you don't need to put glue on every little lattice piece. I try and get the outside, and then a couple of spots on in the middle. But don't spend all day trying to get all those little lines. And you're just going to place that behind there, or on the back of there. Smooth it down. And then we're going to take our fence, this is our fence box, and we're going to score those lines down and then glue on our 2 front posts. And you can do these with the same color or a different color. You could ink them up. If you had an embossing folder, you could emboss them. Do like a wood grain or something else on there. I've seen that done, and it's really pretty. All right, so now we are ready to assemble this box. We're going to take our insert pieces, and we are going to, with them facing towards us, we are going to turn the tabs up towards us. We're going to do that on all of these, just right there on the score lines. And don't worry about those numbers being shown, because they won't show. They just are there to help you get them in the right order. All right, now we're going to go ahead and flip our fence over, and we're going to take the first one, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. Oh, sorry, I got it out of the camera. I'm going to take a little bit of glue, flip it over so that the back is showing, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there, and then I'm going to lay this so it's just left of the score line. And the insert bar is hidden behind that post on the fence. And we're just going to fold that over. Give it a minute to make sure that it's nice and firm. Open it up. And now when we open this one up, oh, it is. We can put glue on it and fold that fence piece right up against it. and just hold it. Hold both of those for a minute to make sure that everything's going to stick. And did I get that right to the corner? I did. Sorry, I keep pulling things out of the camera view to check on it. Okay, then you're going to kind of fold it down and make sure that it folds in both directions. And next we're going to do the same thing with insert piece number 2. We're going to flip it over and put glue on this side, and then we want to lay that right next to the first one. Just kind of hold it there. Make sure we get a good adhesion. Put glue on this piece and then fold it right behind that second tab. I don't know if you can see that or not. So there's our first tab. We're doing that right on the second tab. We're putting second tab right behind the first tab. We're just going to hold that. And then again, we're going to fold it. Make sure that it folds really good in both directions. Oh, and it's about ready to come undone because I folded it before the glue was dry. So if you wanted to, I like to assemble the flowers first and then layer them on here, but you could do your first piece. So glue your flowers together, do your first piece, put your first piece in the fence box, and then go on to your second, and then go on to your third so that these pieces have a chance to dry. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip this over. This is our third insert piece. I'm going to put glue on that tab. Line it right up behind that second tab. I'm going to hold this one a little bit longer so that it doesn't come undone because that first one started to. I went too fast. And then put glue on this tab. And you do want to get a good amount of glue so that it's going to hold that really nice and tight. And we're going to put it right there behind the second tab. You can even lay it down if you need to. All right, so there are my daffodils in the box. Oh, I picked up a piece of green. Next off, we're going to take our back piece that has the lattice on it. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put glue or tape on either of those sides. And I think just for the video, I'm going to do the tape runner. Glue would probably be your best bet, but I'm going to do the tape just so that we can speed this up a little bit faster. Okay, with that tape on the back side of there, I'm going to lay this over, and I'm going to lay this piece with the tab right next to the edge, the bottom's even, and then fold that over. And the tab should come up right to the edge of that back piece, the insert piece. It should come right up to tab number 3. Fold it over and tuck that inside. Fold it flat. And there is the Daffodil Garden box. Isn't that pretty? I don't know how well you can see that in the camera like that, but I think that is just so fun. And all of your little daffodils showing through. And then you can fold it flat to mail it, put it in that 5.5 by 5.5 square envelope, pull it out and pop it open, and then the receiver can display that on their desk or dresser, mantle, wherever they want to keep their very special spring card. So that is the daffodil. All right, next up, we are going to do the strawberry in the fence. Now, you'll remember I said at the beginning of this was kind of my inspiration because I had already done this in a basket. And so I went ahead and did it this time in the fence again. So what you'll get with this is you have your 2 fence posts, cross posts, your fence. You have 3 layers. Oh, and my stuff is falling off. 1, 2, 3, and I will show you those individual pieces as we get to them. And then you also have 2 small flowers that are going to go in the top on your lattice piece. Let's slide all of that to the side, and we will start with our first layer. So what you'll get with this is your daisy pieces have the flower and the inside piece. On your strawberry, you have a leaf, you have the strawberry, and then you have a back to your strawberry. This back you'll want to cut out of black or a dark brown. It is actually going to show the seeds. And I didn't think that you wanted to cut or glue all of those little tiny seeds on there. So we have a backing to cut out of the black. The other option is you could cut this piece out of black and then just glue the strawberry directly on there, but you're going to have to make sure everything gets layered correctly. So I just did the back. Now on these strawberry pieces, the seed pieces are really tiny, and so you may need to poke a couple of those through. I just used my pen to do that. So let's do our strawberry first. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of the strawberry. And then I'm going to take that black piece and just match it up. And you might need to spin it around a little bit to make sure that it fits. But once it's there, they're the same size, and it's going to fit really well. You can either add your leaf now, or you can add your leaf after you add it to your insert piece to make sure that it's going in the right direction. For the the daisy, all you're going to do is glue the center piece to the center of the daisy. And now you have to decide, do you want your daisy in the front or behind? I'm going to put it behind. So I'm going to add some glue and line that up. Glue the back of the strawberry and line it up. And then go ahead and add your leaf or your stem to the strawberry. Okay, there is my first insert piece. The second insert piece has a little bit of a different flower. It's the smaller flower. So I'm still going to add glue to my strawberry and add it to the back piece. Make sure we got it spinning around here in the right direction. There we go. And this time, I think I'm going to add the strawberry first and then add my flower on top of it. Oh, and if I'm going to do that, I need to add my leaf, my stem first. When you're adding the stems, don't put glue up on the stem part because it's going to stick to the layer behind it. You just want to put it on the leaf. I'm going to go ahead and add my flower. Oh, I'm having a hard time getting that to stick. These nails, I tell you what. I decided to grow my nails out, and they're making me crazy. Okay. And the center of the flower. There's our second one. Here's our third piece, and it has 3 strawberries on it and the daisy. So let's just do the daisy while it's right here. Glue that center piece on. Make sure I'm still in the camera and you can see what I'm doing. And then let's go ahead and do our strawberries. There's one strawberry. And this first one just goes right here on the stand. Oops. A little bit more glue. I didn't get enough glue. There we go. Right there. And this is going to be the back piece, so these little squares here are not going to show. It's just to hold the strawberry and make it so that it doesn't flip over or fall down when it's displayed. If you like these little bottles, I get them off of Amazon, but I have also seen them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and they're called quilling bottles. People use them for quilling, but I just put my glue in them, and I love that little needlepoint tip on the edge, on the end there. Okay, now let's go ahead and add our stems to our strawberries first, and I don't want them all going in the same direction. So I'm going to mix them up just a little bit. Whatever you like works great. Okay, and now we can take our daisy and glue it down. And there is our third insert piece. Okay, strawberries and daisies. Oh, this is so fun. I love it. Okay, next we've got our lattice piece again. And we're just going to add some glue to it. And you can see a little bit of black ink on the back of that. That's because I cut this from a scrap paper. I always have lots of white scraps left over, so I flip them over and use those. Just add that in there. And take our fence piece, and we're going to score those lines down. And then add our cross posts to the top and the bottom. I have this silicone mat. I started doing a gray mat underneath because it's really hard to see the white when I do white projects. But the silicone mat just sucks everything to it. It's hard to pull it up. Okay, so the fence is done, ready to go. Now for our back piece, we're going to take these two and score them up, or you can flip it over and score them down. Either way, but you want them folded towards the lattice piece. And then all of our insert pieces, we're going to fold them up towards us. So there's number 3, number 2. I don't think I got that one on quite straight. Some of the black is showing through, but it will be fine. Number 1. And then I have 2 more little flowers that, like I said, are going to go on the inside of the lattice. So let's go ahead and put those together as well. in the center. And then I'm going to just put them right up here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to put them right there. You don't want them too high over the top of that, or when you fold it, it will actually throw off the measurements and it might not fit into your envelope. So be really careful when you put those on. A little bit over the edge is fine, but you don't want them a lot over the edge. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this one. So we have the fence piece. I'm going to fold it towards the bottom. I'm going to find insert number 1 and fold it so it's facing the desk, and put glue on that first tab. Lay it right next to the score line and behind the crossbar on the fence. Fold it and hold it for just a minute. Get a good adhesion. Open it up. Put glue on that one and then fold it over. Make sure that it folds in both directions. It does, just nice and smooth. Take insert number 2, flip it over, and let's put glue on this solid tab. Lay it right behind the first tab. Oops, I moved it. The first tab, and just hold it there. Get a good firm adhesion. Glue on number 2. And it's going to go right behind that first tab. And if you bend it over, it should just fit right there. Folds both directions. It's getting a little loose right there. Hold it for just a little bit longer. Okay, and then the third tab, number 3, we're going to flip it over. Glue right there. Put it right behind that second one. And if you do like this and you want to do this in the basket version, as I said at the beginning of the video, I have it. It is assembled almost exactly the same, except that the basket is all one piece. You don't have the front and then the back. It's all one piece. I like it, the 2 pieces, for a couple of reasons. It's easier to cut, but you can also cut it out of letter size paper. So if you've only got letter size and not the 12 by 12, you can do it when it's in 2 pieces. With the strawberry basket, where it's in 1 piece, you have to have a 12 by 12 cutting mat and a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. All right, it's gonna flip nice, and let's bring our lattice back piece and flip it over and put tape on those 2 edges again. Lay that down. Put this edge right next to it, making sure the bottoms match up. And the edge of this flap should go right behind the edge of that 3rd flap. I'm going to bring this over and do the same thing on this side. Match everything up. Turn it here so I can see it. Can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. Sorry, couldn't see what I was doing. And there is your strawberry fence garden box. so, so fun. Fold it flat, put it in that 5.5 by 5.5 square envelope, and send it off to your friend. All right, so the next one that we're going to do is the begonias, and it is in the basket. Instead of the last two that I just did had the fence piece. This one has the basket piece. So the pieces that we have with this are almost the same. We have 2 basket crossbars, and then you'll have a second basket front. This is an optional piece. It depends on what color you want your basket and if you want it to be a little bit different than your box. So I've added this piece to it. I'm actually not going to use it. I'm going to set it aside because I'm just going to do my whole basket in this brown. We have section 1 that has 3 begonias and leaves. Section 2 that has 2 begonias and leaves. And section 3, which just has some ferns. And then we have our back piece with the lattice. So on these, again, I think it's a lot easier to assemble the flower first and then glue it onto the insert piece. So I'm going to just slide those to the side. Your begonias have a leaf, an outside flower, an inside flower, and then the inside stamen, or if you will. So let's go ahead and glue the leaves on very first onto this insert piece. So we have one that goes right up here at the top. We have one that goes over here on the other side on the top. And then this last one doesn't really matter which direction it goes. In fact, you could even leave it off if you wanted to. But I wanted some of the green to show. So we're going to put it, oh, come on, just kind of down here on the bottom, any old place, like that. Okay, so for the begonias, I'm going to take my inside piece, and we're just going to kind of match it to the outside piece. Doesn't matter which way you flip it because it's symmetrical, so it should just all match up. And then you can put the center in and put it kind of right in the middle. Okay. And I did these kind of as a monochrome color because if you look at begonias, they get darker as they go towards the center. And so that's how I did mine. I did the outer flower in a lighter color and the inner flower in a darker color. But again, your card, you do this in whatever color you like. And begonias come in all kinds of colors. You can do them in pastels, darks, deeps. I love the deep begonias. I've got some out in my garden that are so pretty, that are just a deep, deep color. And again, depending on where you live, sometimes these grow in the fall and sometimes they grow in the summer. Sometimes they grow in the spring. I just think they're so pretty. Okay, so there is our first flower. So we're going to glue them onto that first layer. Once you start using a lot of glue, it will kind of warp your paper. So you want to be a little bit careful. And if it looks like it's starting to warp it, you can put it under a book or something to make it flat. I think this one's going to be okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, there is section number 1, or insert number 1. Here's number 2. And let's go ahead and glue those leaves on. And while they dry, we will again assemble the begonias. Oops. So do you have flower gardens or vegetable gardens, or are you like me, you let someone else do it? I love to go to the gardens downtown and walk around, go out to Thanksgiving Point and walk around. I don't have, my flower beds are very, very simple. And honestly, I make my husband do most of it. But I still love them and I still enjoy them. All right, we're going to glue those on. Come on. There is section number 2, ready to go. And then we have 3, and it just has the ferns, and it's really easy to do. So I'm just going to slide those off. And these are all symmetrical, the same size, so it really doesn't matter which one you put where. You just want to make sure that they're curving in the right direction. Final one. All right. Let's take our lattice piece and glue it to the back. If you do not want to add the lattice, you could omit this piece and maybe cut out a solid piece of printed paper or a little sentiment. It would be kind of hard to read the sentiment with all the flowers in the way, but you could do it. It would be fun. Lots and lots of capabilities, possibilities with this card. Okay, slide that over. Now, since I am not using this extra piece, I can just go ahead and fold this down and add the basket trim to it. So the basket trim has one that has a rounded edge and one that is straight. The rounded edge goes to the top. And it does hang over just a little bit on that top piece. So you want to make sure that it's not glued to the sides because it is going to hang over just a hair. And that's on the basket, not on the fence. On the fence, it goes right up to the side. And on the bottom piece on the basket, it does go right to the edge, but it doesn't hang over. So right to the edge. Okay, let's take our lattice piece and fold it up. Fold the tabs up, and then let's fold the tabs on our insert pieces up. Flip this over, and we are going to go ahead and glue those in. So we're going to take the first insert piece, flip it over so that it's facing down, put glue on that first tab, line it up right next to the score line and so that the tops are even. Just flip that over, get a nice good adhesion. Let it dry for a second or two. I'm going to put glue on this one and fold that over. I want to make sure that it folds in both directions. And then section number 2, same thing. Fold it or turn it over so it's face down. Put glue on that tab. Line it up so it's right behind the first tab. I'm starting to pick up a lot of glue on my fingers, sticking to stuff. Put glue on the second side. And line it up right behind that tab. Flip it. If your card gets a little bit of bubble like this, it's fine. It's usually due to the, for two things. It might be the weight of the cardstock that you're using, or if you don't get your tabs just right exactly lined up. You can see on this one, I don't know if you can or not, but number 2 is not right exactly behind number 3, so it's bubbling just a little. Don't tear it off and keep trying to make it fit. You're going to make it worse. Just move on. It'll be fine, I promise. So we're going to put this tab 3 or the third insert right behind that second one. That third one right behind the second one again. Oh, that one is pulling, it's still wet. So there's our begonias with the leaves, or the ferns, excuse me. Let that dry for a second. Bring your lattice piece over, flip it over so it's face down, and put tape or glue on your 2 tabs. The glue will hold better than the tape. I'm just using the tape to kind of speed things up. We're going to fold that down flat. With our lattice piece facing forward, we're going to line this tab right up next to the edge of the box, the basket box. And then just fold that over and press. And then same thing, fold it over, line it up. Press, press, and there is the begonia box card. With 5 little begonias peeking through with their leaves and the fern in the back. The next one that I'm going to do is actually the pansy card. This one is probably my favorite. I love pansies and I love the purple and the yellow, but I'm actually going to do it with white. So my basket is going to be white. Let's bring this down. It's the same way. I just wanted to show you another option. So you'll have 3 small pansies, your basket pieces, and I did mine out of gray because I'm doing my basket out of white, and then the small leaves. So you'll have the heart leaf and the double leaf, and you'll have 3 of those in the smaller sizes. I'll show those to you just in a second. Then we have the box again, or the basket, and this one does have an optional piece, but I didn't cut it out because I'm just doing this in the white. We have layer 1, which has 1 pansy, layer 2 that has 2 pansies, and layer 3, which has 1 pansy, our lattice, and our back. On this one, I am going to assemble all of the pansies first before I even put them on the insert pieces. And I'm going to start with these smaller pieces. I'm not going to glue the leaves on yet. For these, you have 2 pieces. You have the dark purple and the yellow. And you could do these in pink and red, which is another pansy color, or any color. But the yellow or the lighter color goes on top of the darker color and just gets glued on. And you can turn it any direction that you want because it'll fit anywhere that you put it. So don't worry about which direction they're going right now. Just glue it on there. And then the little center pieces, which kind of look like a spider, are going to go right in the middle, right where that crest is from the yellow piece. You don't need to worry about gluing all the little legs down. It looks fine. As long as you've got that glue in the middle holding it, it will be fine. And these cut out, they're tiny pieces again, but they cut out just fine on both machines that I've tried them on, the Cricut and the Silhouette. I haven't had any problems. If you do have a little bit of problem with it, you'll want to make sure you've got a sharp blade. And if you're on the Silhouette, you can turn the speed down just a hair. But I was working with an older blade and I kept it at the same speed when I did it on the Silhouette, and I didn't have any problems with them. So there is, we have 3 small ones. And you could take these and ink them up. I've got another pansy project going on. Actually, I've got 2 or 3 that I'm really, really excited for. But I did some cards for my Silhouette class where we did, we made cards with these pansies, and I had the ladies ink them up. And they are so beautiful with just that little added inking, shadowing on there. And if you love these, just wait until next week because I've got some more projects with pansies coming up. Some bags, and some other cards that I'm really, really excited to share with you. And I think these are some of the easiest flowers to assemble. Okay, 2 more large ones. So when it's all done, you should have 4 large pansies and 3 small ones assembled. Now we're going to go ahead and glue the leaves on to the insert pieces. So kind of follow the outline, and we're going to do each flower is going to point in a different direction. I'm going to take this one. So on number 3, it's on the top and the bottom. On number 2, they both go on, the double go on the bottom, and the heart leaves go kind of towards the top, facing out. Make sure that I'm still in, kind of gotten out of the camera range. Let me move again. So there's the back, number 3, the double leaves go on the top, and the heart or single leaf goes towards the bottom. So we're doing number 2. And the top are the single leaves, and they point out towards the edge. And then on the bottom, on both of those, you have the double leaf. And then on number 1, the first insert, move this up here so you can see it. The double leaf goes on the left side. And the single leaf goes on the right side, pointing towards the bottom, but not straight down. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and glue these on. So I'm going to take my first one, and it really doesn't matter which side you do as far as pointing up, if you want the purple up or the green. Whoops, you know what I did. Put my leaf on wrong. Okay. Goes right there. Sorry. Okay, now, it doesn't matter which color or which direction you've got it going. You just want to make sure that as you add these on here, that they're going in different directions. So this first one I put with my purple kind of towards the left. So when I bring this one down, I want to kind of turn it a little bit different. And everyone's is going to have a different look to them, and that's fine. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And I did that again with my reef. I will fix that one. I will cut out another one and fix that one. And it's actually not even going to be seen. Okay, and then this one probably will do, yeah, we'll do the purple towards the top. Don't spend too much time trying to rearrange it and make it look perfect. If you look at a pansy plant, they're all going in different directions, so don't stress about it. All right, now let's go ahead and take our lattice and glue it to the back. This really is turning into a long video, and I'm sorry, and we still have one more card to go. And then we're going to score this with the tabs up take our box piece and score it with the sides down. And then let's glue our basket pieces, our basket trim. And fold it over, flip it over. I'm going to take insert number 1 and fold it on the score lines. And this one I did on my Cricut with the scoring wheel, so it doesn't have the perforation lines. Each file has both if you've purchased it directly from me. If you've purchased it on the Silhouette Studio, or the Silhouette store, excuse me, it only has the perforation lines. Fold that over. I shouldn't have looked at the clock because now I'm getting nervous that this is so long and I'm starting to make mistakes. Put glue on this tab. Fold it over. I really, really do like these pansies. I think they are so, so fun. Okay. Second one, we're going to score those lines and fold them up towards us. Flip it over so the pansies are facing down. And line it up right behind the first one. Let's fold that over. It over. Let's fold it nice and smooth. Everything's looking good. Okay, we're going to take insert number 3 and same thing. We're going to fold those tabs up. Flip it over. Put glue on this one. Line it up right behind that second tab. Fold it over. Put glue on this left tab. Fold it over. Okay, and then we're going to take our lattice piece, our back piece, place it face down, and tape on those 2 tabs. Lay it down flat, and then we're going to take this left tab and lay it right next to the right side of the box or basket, and then fold that over, making sure that the bottoms are lined up. And this tab might hang over your back piece just a little bit. It's fine, it'll work. It's not a big deal. And line that one up. Okay, I've got to pull this over so I can see what I'm doing. All right. And then these smaller ones go, we're going to put one in the left hand, or right, excuse me, the right hand corner, and 2 down here if you want to. You could leave it just like this, or we can add those smaller pansies just to decorate it up a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the pansy. I just put glue in the middle, and then I can figure out where I want the leaves to go. You do want to be careful that you don't get this over the edge or over the top, or it won't fit quite right into the envelope when you fold it. So if you put it so your pansies are hanging over this edge, it might not fit in the envelope the way that it's supposed to. The same with on the top. And there's no right or wrong as far as your leaves go, or which directions the flowers go. It's whatever looks good to you. I'm actually going to add my leaf like that for that one. Okay, then we're going to take we're going to glue these to the back of the lattice. I hope you can see what I'm doing there. And there is the pansy box cut out, or pansy basket, excuse me, cut out of the white. And then again, we have it also cut out of the brown. So whichever look you like, we've got it. The last one that we're going to do is the birdhouse, because no garden is complete without a birdhouse. So let's bring our little birdhouse over here, and he is in the fence again. So we have our 2 fence cross posts and the fence that I've already scored and folded down. Layer number 1 has a flower. Layer number 2 has a bird. Layer number 3 also has a bird, a little bit bigger bird. And these birds have some really tiny beaks to them. They will work. They cut out perfect with your machine, but they are pretty tiny. In the birdhouse, we have 2 flowers, or excuse me, 1 flower with 2 leaves. We have the decorative door and the roof, the birdhouse with the cutout, and the back of the box. The back of the box, whatever color you're going to cut this through, is what is going to show through on your birdhouse. So let's assemble the back first on this one. I'm just going to put some glue on the birdhouse here and glue it down. Take the decorative door piece and glue it around the door. And then we have the roof. Come on. And although I cut my roof and the decorative door piece out of the same material or the same color, you could do them different colors. And then we're going to add our flower to the roof. So I have the double leaf first. I'm going to add the flower, and then I will know where to add the single leaf. And we're just going to tuck it underneath. You'll want to be careful that it doesn't poke out too high or is taller than this top point. Otherwise, when you fold it, it won't fit into the box, or the envelope, excuse me. And we have the flower center. Okay, while we're working on that, let's go ahead and take our tabs and fold them up. All right. Next, let's do our first tab. So I'm going to Add the single leaf over here on the left-hand side. The double leaf goes over on the right-hand side. The flower goes in the middle. And then the center, right in the center of the flower. And there is our first section. Our second section, our second insert piece has the larger bird. And so our bird has 2 pieces plus his beak. And you can cut these out of any color that you want. I just did a light and a dark of the same color. But you decide what color you want your birds to be. I like little blue jays in this springtime. You could do pink and red. You could do 2 colors of purple. And then we have this little teeny tiny beak. I am going to use my pickup tool to get it right on there. And if you wanted to not worry about that beak, you could leave it off. It's not going to make that much of a difference to your card. And then if you want to add an eye, you can take a little Sharpie and just add an eye. There's no way I was going to make you cut out that little tiny black dot. Okay, so that's our third section. Second section, our insert has the smaller bird. Oh my goodness. Don't do that to there. Okay. Maybe doing 5 cards in one video was not a good idea. And our little beak. Oops, turn him around. And a dot for an eye. Okay, now this one is ready to assemble. So I'm going to take my cross pieces for the fence and glue them on. And they go edge to edge right up against both of those score lines. Okay, fold it over or flip it over. Take section 1, it has, or insert 1, it has the flower, and we're going to score those tabs and fold them up towards us. Flip it over. Add glue to this tab. We'll lay it right next to the score line and behind that first crossbar on the fence. Fold that over. Press it down. Fold it flat. Add glue. Fold that over. Press it down. Now on the fence, you'll notice that the middle post is a little bit shorter and then they get taller as you go out. I did that on purpose so that you can see the middle. That's it's not something that's wrong with your file. It's supposed to cut that way. Okay, once those are looking good, we're going to take our insert number 2, score and fold on the 2 tabs up towards us. Flip it over. Put glue right there. Lay it right behind that first tab. Press it. hold it and press it so that it just lines right up behind that first tab. Fold it in both directions. And the third one, we're going to score and fold on those score lines up towards us. Flip it over so the bird is face down and put glue on this tab. Line it up right behind that second one. Open it up. Getting out of the camera view again. And there we go. So it's glued right underneath the second tab. So there's a bottom view. All of the tabs line up one right behind the other. Take our back piece, which is the birdhouse, and flip it over, and then we're going to put tape on the two tabs. Get clear up to the top. Line this tab up. So we're lining the left tab up to the right side of the fence, and we're making sure that the bottoms are even. Don't worry about the top, it's the bottoms we want to make sure are even. And same thing, bring it over here. Sorry, I keep bringing it off the screen when I get to this side because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, come on. Okay, hold on, let me work around the arm of the camera here. All right, and there is the little birdhouse box. Isn't that so cute? So a garden with a birdhouse. We have the begonias. We have the strawberries. We have the daffodils. And we have the pansies. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you will give at least one of these projects a try. They are so fun to do. Please hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.